Assassin's Creed Shadows has been delayed. Ubisoft posted this familiar wall of text announcing a 3-month delay. The game will come out now on February 14th of 2025 instead of November 15th of this year. So I wanted to dive in and talk about what this means for the game, because I think there's more going on than just a delay. Before the delay was official, there was a lot of reporting from reliable sources suggesting that a recent preview event for the game was canceled. And while I can't say anything specifically about that, the fact that Shadows ultimately got delayed makes those reports feel legit. If Ubisoft knew that they were going to delay the game and they had a preview event planned, they definitely wouldn't go through with it and let us play the game. So all signs point to the fact that the game just wasn't ready. So the statement says because of the ambition of the game, they need more time to polish and refine the experience, pushing further some of their key features in the game. This is pretty standard language for a delay, and it makes a lot of sense for Ubisoft, especially right now. Ever since Assassin's Creed Unity, they've been under a microscope in terms of bugs and technical issues for their games. People are really sensitive to those things, especially for Ubisoft. But even more so now with the recent launch of Star Wars Outlaws and how that game's bugs really affected the review cycle, they definitely can't repeat the same mistake there. They say they want to push some key features further, and I do want to note, I think it would be a mistake to read into that as them overhauling features like making parkour significantly better or changing the way combat works. This stuff can improve, sure, but I think we're just too far into this dev cycle for big changes. Obviously, I can't be certain, but in my experience, I've gotten to play various versions of games that are at least 3 months out from release. And there's no drastic changes that can happen in this window of time, so I don't think this signals anything other than them cleaning up the game and making sure it's as bug-free as possible. And to further follow up on that, IGN has an article up that says, in a note to the investment community, Ubi said that the game is feature complete and that the learnings from the release of Star Wars Outlaws led them to provide additional time to further polish the title. The game is feature complete. We're not going to see anything really new or different, and Star Wars Outlaws is a big reason why this happened. They go on to say the game will release on Steam at launch and that all pre-orders will be refunded and future pre-orders will get the first expansion for free. Ever since Ubisoft Connect came out, Ubisoft has been forcing PC players to grab it on their platform. It's something that many publishers have been doing for several years now. But we're seeing things shift. First with Star Wars Outlaws, which, by the way, is coming to Steam in November because initial sales were too low for the game. So it says a lot about Shadows and Ubisoft in general that they're putting this game on Steam day one. They really need Shadows to succeed, and they're willing to give Steam their cut of the revenue if it means they're going to push more copies of the game. Canceling pre-orders is normal for a delay, but they're going a step further by giving away the first expansion for the game to people who pre-order. That also means the traditional season pass model that Ubisoft uses for all of their games won't be the same either. So they'll probably sell further expansions separately instead of bundling them together like we're used to. And man, the first thing I think about is how much that's going to cost them. They're giving away free content because of this delay. And again, on that IGN article, apparently that's going to cost the delay and giving away the expansion Ubisoft $22 million. I mean, that's a big chunk of change. At the top, I said this is more than just a delay, and that's really because of everything else surrounding AC Shadows. I don't have to spell it out to you guys. You can take a look at any comment section of any of my AC videos, even this one, to see what I'm talking about. Since the game was first revealed back in May, some people have loudly disapproved of Naoe and Yasuke as the game's protagonists. When E3 came around, I was shocked that Ubisoft didn't let me play the game at their press and creator events. They showed us someone else playing the game behind closed doors, but it felt weird that we didn't have the game in our hands. If we can believe the reports, they had an event that was going to take place only a couple weeks from the launch of the game, and that was reportedly canceled as well. And now we have this delay, which is pushing AC Shadows out of a very favorable window for the game. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that it might not have been a critical darling or something that was popular to like and talk about on the internet, but I think that people see Assassin's Creed and they still buy it for the name, for the brand. There's a reason Call of Duty launches in October or November every year. It is the holiday window, the perfect season to launch your game to guarantee a lot of sales, and they're missing the window now. It's now February 15th. Now, that doesn't in and of itself spell doom for the game, but if you look at the forecast that Ubisoft gave their investors of saying this is going to cost us $22 million, that is absolutely baked into that number. Less people will buy the game because of that. Now, maybe Ubisoft knows that and are saying, look, we were going to lose more money because this game would have launched in a buggy state. It would have gotten negative reviews, and that would have cost us more than $22 million. So we're going to bleed a little bit now so we don't bleed more. However, I'm not so sure that that forecast accurately shows the packed schedule that February already has. We've already got Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Civilization 7, Avowed, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, and Monster Hunter Wilds, all coming out in February. Some of those aren't direct competitors, but some of them are. I mean, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Monster Hunter Wilds especially. I think there's just a certain fatigue that people can feel surrounding a game when it has so many controversies, you know? Whether those controversies are even legitimate or not, it kind of doesn't matter. For me personally, I know delays are usually a good thing for the quality of the game. This will be a better experience on February 15th or 14th than it would have been if it came out on November 15th of this year. But for others, I think this only adds to the doubts people had around AC Shadows and Ubisoft in general. There was already a general stink to this game, and I think this just makes it worse. Couple that with the current climate of how people talk about protagonists and video game characters in general. This is just like the perfect storm for controversy. So this just adds to the pile and makes it worse. Now, say you're someone who only buys 2 to 3 to 4 games a year. Looking outside of just the February slate, 2025 is really stacked for new games. Ghost of Yotei is the single biggest direct competitor to AC Shadows. It just got announced for 2025. So that similar sort of historical Japanese open world video game is going to come out in the same year as Shadows. And by the way, people since May have been saying, wait a second, AC Shadows, we already got Ghost of Tsushima. Sucker Punch already made a better version of a Ubisoft game. That is the AC Shadows that I wanted, and I've already played it. If you liked Ghost of Tsushima and you do believe that, then it makes it more difficult to pick up AC Shadows. Oh, and by the way, there is a 10-ton giant coming out in fall or holiday of 2025 in the name of Grand Theft Auto 6, and no game wants to release around that game because it's going to swallow everything whole. Now, there is part of me who believes that if this game does come out in February and doesn't get a second delay, that it'll be fine. That is 6+ months out from any direct competition, but that's assuming that the game comes out and it's actually good, right? And that's the trouble, because I don't think it's a secret to anyone that Ubisoft has become a 7 out of 10 machine. They make games that work. They make games that are playable, and they make games that are on the surface pretty fun. But I think once you dig beneath a little bit and look for some real ambition, some real innovation, you're not able to find it. And if you're someone who looks for that, then you are disappointed. My point is, for this game to make any waves, for it to succeed, it needs to be really good. I'm talking about like 9 out of 10 Ubisoft. I'm talking about the best AC game since Black Flag. And that's asking so much. I mean, it really is. Like I said before, the delay for me means we're getting a better AC game. I just don't know if it'll be good enough considering what it gave up by not coming out in November. The competition this November, I mean, it was kind of wide open for them. You've got Black Ops 6, Dragon Age, the Veilguard, Stalker 2, and Indiana Jones. I mean, that is pretty soft. At the end of the day, I just hope that the game is good. If the game is actually good, it's going to be the rising tide that lifts all boats. If it's not, then we're going to look back at all of this and point fingers and be able to see exactly where it went wrong and how it progressively got worse. Anyways, guys, that's really all I've got to say. Let me know what you think about this delay in the comments section below. Love to hear your thoughts. I really hope that I get to play the game before launch. I think it would be even worse if they don't have a preview event at all. So really crossing my fingers on that. If and when it happens, I'll let you guys know. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, remember to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and ring the bell so you don't miss my next one. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you next time.